It takes a special kind of player to be doing this to attackers at such a young age.
Salah fouled him, referee says he didn't, and then Salah's missed a sitter. And to describe...
This is Husenov, Manchester City's monster centre back.
If I'm playing against him, I'm going to make sure that I want to bring him in to goal because he wants to win everything.
He's quick.
There was plenty of interest for the Uzbek international back in the 2025 winter transfer window. Manchester United wanted him, Tottenham wanted him, but it was Manchester City who won the race. And now he has become a fan favorite. Uzbekistan just has everything that fans love. He's fast, aggressive, powerful, and plays with real intensity. You know, the complete opposite of Kyle Walker in his last season at Manchester City. When the team is under pressure, Husenov is the guy sprinting back and flying into tackles to win the ball. He makes defending exciting to watch. In the final of the Carabao Cup, he was chasing down the likes of Kai Havertz and Gyökeres, taking the ball away from them like taking candy from a baby. Like Gyökeres looked like he was stuck in quicksand when Husenov was sprinting next to him. Against Real Madrid, even in a bad team performance, it was the Uzbek international who was chasing down players like Vinny.
You're now starting to think about Khusanov a little bit differently.
Like if Husenov wasn't there, City might have lost by like double digits. Against Liverpool, he locked down Mo Salah, but I guess this version of Salah, it's not that impressive to lock him down. Now, he's not just a physical beast, he's also very smart. He has a very high footballing IQ, and that's why he's improving so quickly on the ball as well. Yet, despite his great performances, you never hear the media praising him. You rarely, if ever, hear people from Sky Sports or TalkSports talking about how Husenov has transformed City's back line. Yet if we go back to his Manchester City debut, it seemed like everyone and their mother had an opinion.
But for Khusanov, I didn't think Guardiola should have started him. I thought that was a poisonous present in a way. He was not ready. You could see on his face, even in the tunnel, that he didn't look right, that the tension, the pressure was getting to him.
His first game in a City shirt was messy to say the least. He made a big mistake that led to the goal against Chelsea, got a yellow card, nearly got sent off, and got subbed early. Gary Neville even said that he felt bad watching him.
You know, in his first game, you're asking yourself after 3 or 4 minutes, how long will this last? It was a brutal start. Obviously, the goal that he gave away with the header, the ball bouncing over his head, and then obviously just following up after that with the yellow card. You're thinking it could be sent off.
After that, it didn't get that much better. He struggled against Kylian Mbappe and Real Madrid in the Champions League, scored an own goal later in the season, and eventually was dropped out of the squad completely. At that point, a lot of players would have fallen apart. But he didn't. He stayed quiet, worked hard, and spent time learning English to understand the team better. Now he's back, and he looks like a completely different player. City have a lot of depth at center back with players like Ruben Dias, Marc Guéhi, and Gvardiol. John Stones is there too, but the poor guy is always injured, so I kind of forget about him sometimes. As a result, Husenov is not guaranteed a starting spot, but that doesn't seem to bother him. He's very humble, focused, and he just wants to play. Whether he's been playing at center back or right back, he just gives it his all. Earlier in the season against United, he was played at right back, and he was just everywhere. Tackling, intercepting, clearing crosses. He ended up with the most defensive actions on the pitch, and you could really feel his presence the whole time. Like he's so good at defending, winning duels, and keeping things under control. In today's Premier League, where everything is fast and physical, and every single set piece turns into WrestleMania in the box, Husenov is the perfect defender. He might not overlap like a traditional fullback or step into midfield like an inverted fullback, but this guy gave City something different, and that was security. His pace and strength meant that City could deal with counterattacks, which had been one of their biggest weaknesses. Honestly, it's hard not to be impressed by this guy. The way he's growing and adapting so quickly just shows how much natural talent he had. Look at his recovery tackle on Salah in the Liverpool game, where he basically saved the goal. In that same match, he won every single duel, kept a 93 pass accuracy, and only gave away 1 foul. That's a ridiculous performance for someone still this young, who plays so aggressively. He feels like a player who could one day wear the captain's armband for City. And that's why a lot of fans are already so attached to him. You just want a player like this to stay for a long time. There's something about his attitude and the way that he plays. He bleeds for the badge. If he has a bad performance, you can criticize his mistakes, but you can never criticize his effort. What really stood out to me was how he carries himself in games. He's very vocal with his teammates, constantly communicating and organizing the back line, but more importantly, he reacts so well to mistakes. Listen, every defender is gonna mess up at some point, but the way he immediately recovers, fixes his positioning, or wins the ball back is what separates him from a player like Maguire. That ability to bounce back instantly is what makes him elite. And when you look at his game overall, there's a reason why Manchester City fans rate him so highly. off the ball, there are honestly not that many defenders better in the league right now. He reads the game so well, covers space so quickly, and wins his duel. Now, as good as he is defensively, he's also very good on the ball. He's calm, he's confident, he's not Joao Cancelo, but he rarely wastes possession. That's why his recent achievements mean so much. Becoming the first Uzbek player in the Premier League to win Player of the Month is a big moment, not just for him, but for his country, and it was fully deserved. Just look at his performances against Arsenal, West Ham, and Newcastle. He played the full 90 minutes in all of them, barely misplaced a single pass, and was so dominant in his tackling. That was the kind of consistency you expect from top defenders in their prime, not someone this early in his career. It's crazy to think how quickly he's reached this level too. At the start of 2022, this guy was still playing youth football in Uzbekistan. He stayed there until the age of 18, but his career has moved so quickly since then. In March of 2022, he joined a Belarusian club called Energetic BGU. He got his first goal for the club on the 2nd of May 2022, and in that same match, he also provided 2 assists. Bro had better output as a center back than Saka does as the starting right winger. Just a few weeks after that, he also got a goal and assist against Slavia. Husenov had really impressed, and after just 18 months, he found himself moving from Belarus to Ligue 1, joining Lens. There, he established himself as a key figure in the team. Think about this, he only missed 2 matches in Ligue 1, and that was because of a 2-game suspension because he got a red card. After just 31 games with the Croissant Lovers, City signed him and threw him immediately into the Premier League. And it didn't start well for him. As I mentioned earlier in the video, it was a bit of a nightmare. Just a few minutes into his debut against Chelsea, everything went wrong. He tried to head the ball back to Ederson, but it was too soft. Nicholas Jackson read it, took the ball, and set up Nona Madueke for an easy goal. Gifting a goal to Dumb and Dumber is never a good thing. Unfortunately, then it got worse. Right after kickoff, he gave the ball away to Cole Palmer and had to dive into a tackle just to stop the attack, which got him booked. You could see it all over the poor guy's face. He looked shaken. He looked like his nudes had just been leaked.
It's tough. It's really tough for them sometimes, particularly if you're young. You'll have never seen anything like that before, probably, and felt anything like that before.
It made sense. He had barely trained with the team, could barely speak English, and he was just thrown into the mix, playing in one of the most intense games in the most intense league. It was all just too much, too fast. But even in the middle of all of that chaos, there were small signs of what he could become. He still made some strong one-on-one blocks. He got a great stop on Jadon Sancho. The effort and aggression were still there. That game showed both sides of him though. On one hand, he looked raw and overwhelmed. On the other, you could see the tools that he had. The speed, the strength, the mindset. Right now, at times, he still looks like he's on the edge. Like he might do something crazy or reckless at any moment. He was very mentally strong, and still is. But the difference is with his physical ability, he can recover from those situations faster than most players. He can turn bad moments into a good one just by reacting quicker and being more aggressive. As he grows, that chaos is going to settle. The mistakes are becoming way less frequent, and the aggression that he plays with is becoming more controlled. That's why nobody at City is worried. In a position that's been a problem for them, Husenov's raw aggressive style is exactly what they needed. The two standout features of Husenov's game have always been his speed and his aggression. He is constantly hounding opposition attackers. He will stick right into their ass like your dirty uncle at the club and snap at any loose ball, even if it ends up somewhere near the corner flag. Husenov does his best work covering the channels because he reads the game so well and he just wrap it, which is a fantastic quality for a City defender because these guys hold the ball so much that realistically the only time that they get attacked is on the counter. So now when they get caught and everyone's forward, Husenov spots the danger and quickly covers that space. And it's not just at club level that Abdukodir Khusanov is making noise. What he's doing for Manchester City is impressive, but back home, it's on a completely other level. In Uzbekistan, he's basically their version of Cristiano Ronaldo, according to The Athletic. That might sound crazy for a center back, but it shows you how big he is over there. He's not just their best defender, he's their best player. Like, they run plays through him. Defensively, he controls the game with his speed and reading of the play, as I mentioned earlier, but he also starts the attacks, spraying long passes over the top like he's Andrea Pirlo. You can see how much attention he gets just from the way that opposition teams prepare for him. Before a game against Gabon, the manager was literally asked how they were going to stop Husenov. The guy's a center back. And even back when he wasn't getting playing time, people were still talking about him. That's because in Uzbekistan, he's more than just a footballer, he's a celebrity. Everybody knows him. His face is on billboards. He's constantly in the news. And when he got married or had a child, it was literally national headlines according to The Athletic. That's the levels he's reached. Part of that, of course, comes from his journey too. Players from Uzbekistan don't usually go abroad and make it at the highest level, especially not this quickly. But Husenov did. From Belarus to France to one of the biggest clubs in the world, all in just a few years. No one from his country had done done it like this before. And now he's carrying the weight of an entire nation going into the World Cup. You can see it in their games. When he misses a match, the defense looks shaky and people immediately blame his absence. But when he came back against Venezuela, everything changed. He was everywhere, winning duels, outrunning their attackers, blocking shots, starting attacks. Every action he makes gets a reaction from the crowd. Big tackles, huge cheer. Long passes, everyone's on their feet. Maybe he can promote this video to his fans in Uzbekistan for me. Even simple moments feel exciting because he's involved. It honestly looked too easy for him. By the end of that international break, he had lifted another trophy and was named the player of the tournament even though he missed one of the games. So yeah, he's been a beast for Manchester City. But in Uzbekistan, he's something even bigger. And as my ex used to say, bigger is always better. Although I don't think she was talking about Husenov's reputation back in Uzbekistan. The man won more trophies in a 2-week break than Arsenal have in the last 10 years. He's the face of their football, their biggest hope. And heading into their first ever World Cup, he's the guy everyone is counting on. Now he isn't the only player shining for City in the back line. To see how good Nico O'Reilly has been at left back, you have to watch this video right here.